Good morning, guys. It is about 8 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Central time here on Tuesday, don't tell me, 29th? Yeah. Okay, so today what I think we're going to do, a lot of people are tuning in from different sources because we're putting this thing in a bunch of different locations. We're going to get a lot of questions chiming in. A lot of the preliminary questions we've done so far have gone back to calls to action, how to deliver on those calls to action, how to create headlines, and basically what a call to action really is. It's an in-text close inside of your funnel step, like do X now for X reason, kind of a thing. That's the very basic structure of a call to action. And we're going to go into those, but not just those specifically, but also how to deliver on those. I think a great deal of confusion that goes on in marketing and drawing ads, and I could be wrong about this, but the people I've spoken to, they say that they have a hard time with how to phrase what they're going to deliver in a way that they know they're going to actually be able to deliver it. And they make a good point, because you don't want to necessarily sorry. So what I've got, me looking around just really quick, I've got two monitors here on either sides of the camera. One is on Facebook, one is on YouTube, and here I've got some notifications as well in the chat. So we'll be able to get, I think any question fielded regardless of whether you are. If you're on Facebook, I'm sorry. If you're on YouTube and you can hear what I'm saying right now, just type me a quick shout out so I know that you're there in the comments if you could, and then we'll move on forward there. So what I was going over before was that when we create calls to action for real estate professionals and mortgage professionals, and frankly, a lot of title people too are going to run the same ads that we do, to target buyers and homeowners and things like that. A lot of those questions are answered really well by Ryan in the courses, and what I mean by that is he, in his recommended ad copy, provides a few things that I think are substantial. So he provides not just the headline, he provides the sub headline, which is in Facebook beneath it, the text beneath the headline. He provides the call to action, and he gives some information on how to get people to opt in a way if they don't want to click on a website, if they want to text a phone number in using lead pages, lead digits, right? So that I think is the most effective if you're in, and a lot of us are, and a lot of the programs are written for that industry. But for people who are not, in real estate or in mortgages or title, and frankly have no use for like a home buyer funnel whatsoever, what I recommend is, using the similar principles of what you see in Ryan's course, the way that it's said, but phrase it toward what you would be delivering should this person actually respond. For example, if you're in automobiles, right? If you're in auto sales, like we got some great car guys in the BFA group, Kyle and Matt. I know I'm forgetting like half you guys. I'm just throwing it out there. For your calls to action on your funnels, think about what you're actually delivering. Is this a sale that you're promoting? Is like an event, or is it something to the effect of maybe an informational booklet or subscription, or like I know Matt had a great 10 things you need to know when buying a car that would work really well. Some kind of like a newsletter or information, and what that thing that you're promising them, the name for that in the internet marketing sphere is called a lead magnet, right? So your call to action, do this for this. That for this part, that all pertains to the lead magnet that you're going to be delivering them. So people think that, okay, so I've got, when they build these ads out, and I've seen a little bit of this psychologically, they're like, okay, so I got the call to action, I have the ad text, I have the email autoresponder, and they're thinking of these as like individual separate things, when they're really just different components of your overall value proposition. What I mean by that, I'm not trying to complicate what I'm trying to say here, but what I mean by that in more practical terms is that you shouldn't be building out these different components of your offer, of your ad, independent. They should all mesh together with what you actually want to do. When you look at a funnel, and I'm going to use a housing funnel because I'm very familiar with these, but you can really switch out what I'm talking about here with anything else, because it really does come down to like a service is what we're talking about. Any kind of a service thing, sales, right? So okay, this is me without like good graphics on my computer. Someone do hand stuff. So at the tip of that funnel, you're really putting out a feeler for: are you moving to the area of New Brentwood? Are you in the market for a new car? Are you and for insurance, like you ask a question to get their mind going, right? So that's the beginning part. The headline, though, a really good headline that I want to show, and this goes back to what I like to say when I have really good results here is that I'm not creative, right? Every time I do something creatively, there's a few viewers here, and you're gonna all probably laugh at this, and you've probably heard this from me or from Ryan or from one of us. Every time I try to do something myself creatively, like under my own volition, it kind of goes haywire. It's like I tried to say something that made sense in my head, but to the audience that I'm portraying this to, it didn't make any sense at all. So there was a loss. This one that I'm going to show you in a little bit with again, the real estate conversions, but just I'm going to use that as an example to frame the other conversions too. That one, I literally copied what Ryan told me to do, like line by line by that checklist that's in your BFA digital program. Under funnels, that thing just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to the 23rd step. Then it was done. So let me just show you that first, just because I want to continue the conversation on headlines and on calls to action. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. If for whatever reason, wherever you guys are watching, if you're on the YouTube channel or anything like that, go ahead and let me know if you can't hear me, because sometimes we have some tech issues here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off and my mic off briefly here. So bear with me for 1 second, please. Okay, guys, I'm back. What I had to do is check on a few of the different sources of questions, make sure everything was coming in good. Had my feelers out there for just making sure everyone is be able to hear me and able to communicate with me, and we are good to go. So I'm going to share my screen with you and show you an ad I ran a few months ago. Did pretty well. Okay, share screen. Excellent. Shoots to the rabbit hole right now, and I'm just going to hop you on over. Okay. So, first of all, I mean, this looks silly. It doesn't really tell you too much because of the time frame here, right? So it's like, okay, that really ran for about a week. I always run my ads for about a week, just so you guys know. You can run them longer. I've seen people have a great deal of success running the same ad for a very long period of time, just switching up small things here and there. But once you get kind of good at these things, you can do it quickly. And as soon as you see a drop off in participation, you can be quick on your feet, make another ad, implement it, same target, and continue getting leads in that sphere that you want without any of this. And just so you guys know, it's hard to tell right here because it's not. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see this. But there's a visual tell, and when you look at it from this like scaled back perspective, it's even more obvious of when your ad starts losing engagement, and you really need to start thinking about re-implementing or fixing out a stale photo or copy. So you see how it spikes up. You can't really tell because let me just kind of zoom in a little more. It spikes up. It's down here at 7 leads on that day. It spikes up to 24 leads the next day. Next day 20. Next day sorry, it's hard to get my mouse on this stuff. Next day 20, but the end result is it drops down all the way down to like 13 and even below 7 where it was. So I was basically getting like 1 or 2 leads a day at the end of it, and then my cost per engagement was going way up. So I was like, this is not going to work. So that's when I pulled it. But while it was running, and just to give a sense of what the copy looks like and how the ad is structured and stuff like that, and just so you guys right? That is what I would put right there. But insider info on the best condos in West LA. You can probably modify this out to a different industry where, insider info insurance here, just to skip around, like software. So insider info on the best sales management software in your industry, kind of thing like that. Whenever you say something like insider info or like exclusive info, this, forgive me, this ad, right? The words on here, the photograph, all this stuff, it doesn't close them into signing into contract with you. What it closes them on is that it's, in their best interest. They don't have much to lose, right? Because you're saying all you have to do, so they don't have much to lose by doing this, and it's in their best interest for their desire for knowledge of the neighborhood to move one step further into the funnel and try to convince themselves to get out of that funnel based on something you say. That's the way it works. I mean, as Ryan says really eloquently, people don't, convince themselves of reasons why to buy something. They convince themselves of reasons why not to make a decision, why they can prolong that decision. These are excuses. This is why we fuck them. Boy, that came out strangely. Moving forward, so with these, sometimes you just got to laugh at yourself, But with people have different, whatchamacallit. So this text West LA to 44222, that basically will send out my app to this person. So if they don't want to click here, if they're like, you know what, I've heard about clicking on these websites and I don't want to do that because effect. And the way that they're logically led to the best optimal solution as they go down here. Here's information about why it's a challenge. This is a benefit of having the knowledge. This is why we have the knowledge. This is the easy way to get that knowledge. And then you just learn more. Not sign up. I mean, sign up is good too. Actually, that I like sign up. Sign up works. But like even when you make a mistake, like I made a mistake on this ad, I should have written something much, much shorter. Just this enter your info to gain access is probably what I should have said. Just like enter your info to gain access to the off-market homes, coming soon properties, blah, blah, blah. And not this top part up here. If I just did that, I would have been golden. Even though I didn't, I mean, check it out. $1.15 per lead. That's pretty good as far as my standards. Oh, let me see what that means here exactly, because we've got a viewer, we've got people on board. Do people not have, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this up for a second here. Okay, guys, I see what the issue is here. I'm going to go ahead and blame the software instead of myself again, because that's what we do. So bear with me for 2 seconds while I switch this back over and get this thing to work. So we're going to troubleshoot for a minute. We might go a little bit longer if that's okay. But okay, hang tight. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So that was a lot of fun. Just a little bit of background on doing these things yourself. GoToWebinar is infinitely better than Google Hangouts. I'm just in a pinch, so Google Hangouts is what we use. So what happened was the correct URL is now on the status, so you can log in. But the reason you weren't able to get in previously was because this thing reset, and when it reset, it gave me a new URL. I didn't update that URL up at the top there of the status. Like I should have. I didn't realize it would give me a URL in the first place. So, okay, now that we got that done, thank you guys for your patience. We're good. We're going to probably start seeing some more people hop on board now than before. Okay, so going back to it, right? Okay, so we got Rick Taylor here. Rick's the one who clued me on the fact that, you know, we weren't really able to hear or see me because I was at the wrong place. So, Rick, how's it going, man?
It's going great.
I actually can't quite hear you. Is your sound on?
Yeah, it's on. Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can. Great. Fantastic.
All right.
Cool, man. So before you came on board, what I was going over was calls to action, headlines, some results from one ad that I ran that I think I did pretty well, and just to talk about the headlines from that one. You weren't able to see any of that, though, I don't think, because you were trying to get in from the Hangout. You didn't see the YouTube. So why don't I just go back over and just recap that for everyone who's just coming back on. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, John. If that's not John, Rick, if that's okay. There we go. All right. So, Rick, man, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
And you can hear me okay. Okay, good. So
Yeah.
what I wanted to show you was, one of my ads, again, this is just not to brag or anything like that, but the main reason I'm showing this to you guys is mainly because I copied exactly what Ryan goes over with respect to the call to action, the copy, and things like that in the ad itself, which is this. As you can see, I made one crucial mistake when I was making this. I should have made this just a one-liner, but I copied and pasted. It was one of my first ones, so I was new. Didn't know what I had to do about it. Even still, I was able to get $1.15 per lead. I spent $75. I got 65 leads. Not too bad. Of those 65,
No.
6 closed, and a bunch of other ones are trying or credit repair and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's effective. So if you can get it right, you can get this cost down. Yeah, I've seen guys go a lot lower than this. I mean, this isn't like that impressive, I'm sure, but it's just something to show for when you have it done right. So what I want to look into, for Rick and all the other people come on board here in the live, there's a structure to the offer that's being made in this ad, right? And I think that's, we've all kind of figured out that there's a reason this works. Probably haven't thought too deeply into why that works. Maybe I can just kind of go over quickly. This right here, it disarms someone who is feeling anxious about working with you, right? So the text here, ready to make the move to Marine Del Rey, Culver City. So that's the identifier, right? It's like, is this meant for you? Yes or no, it's binary. If it's not meant for them, they don't care. If it is, they look. We're excited to have as your future neighbor. Okay, so then it's like future prospects of this, they're friendly. You go into here, this is the problem. Like, as you know, it's a hot market. You go down here, it's like, here's a solution to this problem as you be in the know. Here's how we provide that solution, and here's how easy it is to get in touch with us. The reason that this ad works, of course, it makes sense to have like a very good, concise headline call to action, but the call to action builds on everything else, right? And it has to integrate with everything that comes after this. So some of us will talk about a list of hot home deals. I know I do this, a list of hot home deals in an area. Just give me your name and email, or just click on this. And when people do that, they expect to get that item there. And I think the main disconnect of why we lose our leads halfway through a conversation is because we may say something, or we may prepare them for something that doesn't happen, right? So if they think they're going to get a list of hot homes, but really they get something like just another sales pitch, something like that, they may be wary. I'm not saying don't contact them, but when you contact them, phrase it in a way, and every time you follow up with that, go with what you can learn for people who have this program in permission-based selling, with the benevolent salesman, with Pavlov's prospect. And anytime you have a chance to make that touch on them, like let's say opt in for a list of homes, get them some list of homes. If you're a loan officer, send them a link to your Nest Me so they can start looking at some homes. If you're a real estate agent, perfect. You probably have an IDX or an IDX on your Facebook or something like that you can use, and get them looking at homes. Deliver to them what they asked for, but also be in communication with them throughout the whole process. But not so much like, you want to look at this house, you want to look at this house. Be like, is there anything I can do to help answer your questions? Like, please think of me as an information center. Can I help with that? Because what you really want to do, just to tie it back in there, they opted into all of this so that they can get this. The sooner that you can get them this, you can make yourself seem more trustworthy. And you really can filter some people out too, because there's another step in this process, as we all know, which is the qualification survey that we do on Wufoo or Typeform, any of those things. That survey will, effectively narrow down the people who aren't serious, who are just looking, and then you can scale based on their responses, how ready they are and things like that. So that makes sense, guys. What I was kind of talking about there, a little bit. Yeah. Cool. So I'm gonna end this thing right here. I'm gonna hop back over to Rick. I think I'm back. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I wanted to go over that for sure. And Rick, one second. Sorry. Before I hop over to you, I want to show everyone one last resource when it comes to copywriting, writing headlines, writing text, compelling stuff to bring people in, calls to action. The best place that I have seen for that was just introduced to me by our own Lindsay Davis, thankfully so, because I need this more than I think anybody. If I can just find it. the BFA group. Y'all have seen this ad. I don't need to like stay on the ad too much longer there, but break free. Nope. Todd Holland, what the hell are you doing? Okay, it's definitely one of those mornings. So we go to the members group. I want to show you this. It's a book called Kick-Ass Copyright Secrets. It's in here. I might have to just look for it, or Kick-Ass. Look for it in here somewhere. I think it might be toward the bottom. It is, maybe it's this copywriting here. But when you find it, read it, because that is like probably one of the best books on the topic. It's no longer in publication, so you've got to either read it here or find it in a PDF elsewhere. And it's how a lot of us learned how to do the stuff that we know how to do with writing ads. So
it's towards the bottom. It's called Kick-Ass Copywriting Secrets 1.
Thank you.
PDF.
Perfect. So yeah, so Rick had a good point. Right toward the middle here, it's posted by Lindsay Davis on September 25th, 2014. Just download it, preview it, just you read it, because I think it's very helpful. So yeah, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so now for real this time, I'm going to stop presenting. And Rick, man, I'm sure you got a couple questions. I know we were implementing some stuff last week. Do you have any results? Do you want to go over anything that happened?
Not yet. I still have to pay that giant bill. I owe to freaking pay Facebook. Let's see. I am looking for something. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because I found a website that has ready-made videos.
Cool.
If I can find it. Where the hell did I put it? Sales. No, not there. Dang it. I know it's in here somewhere. Might be one of my liked pages.
Oh, okay.
Pages. All right, pages. I like pages. Oh, good Lord. Well, one of the things we can go over is some of the side targets of people that can be targeted by realtors and MLOs as far as people that are looking to buy. Typically, when are people looking to buy? Are looking to buy when they either get a job upgrade, downgrade, to get a divorce, they relocate, or they get married. So target the outside people that are associated with those. So for example, marriage, you'd look for caterers, photographers, florists, wedding planners, travel agents. Those are normally referral sources that nobody ever thinks of.
True. So referral sources, talk more about that. How you set up these referral sources.
Yeah. I'm still looking for this website.
Totally. So how would you set those up as referral sources to kind of build them into all this when you're targeting?
I would set them up as, actually, I'm still trying to come up with a plan for that. So I'm also still searching for this web page.
Yeah. Multitasking.
So, I went there yesterday, signed up, and I lost it.
What happens?
I know for a fact that I freaking saved it. No, that was today. That was yesterday. Bondage. Ugh, older. No, I did it yesterday around noon. Yes, yesterday. Freedom. Florida Department of State.
So while you're looking for that, I could probably show a couple more quick tricks.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen one more time here. Okay. I actually want to share the targeting I use too. So for that ad, that would be really cool. Okay, so for those, we had a viewer and he had something better to do this time. For everyone. So for okay, now we've got some more viewers back on. So for everyone who is looking to replicate kind of what I did in that ad, that did pretty well. That was, again, one corner of the area. You probably get it for the same way. I'm going to go to my ads manager here. And I'm going to scroll down. And if you look at my if you look at my costs as we go, it's almost like I got worse at this as time went on. Because it's like, you really spend $10 per lead? Yeah, I am. But if you saw my targeting, you'd know why. So where is it? West LA Homes. That's the one, right? Okay. So graphics. I think what I have to do is just go into the ad to show it to you guys. Like, I don't have to go back to the ad set. So at the ad set, should show the audience. Okay. I mean, this is like, for you guys seeing this right now, the way that I got, am I broadcasting? I am. Okay, so the way that I got leads for $1.15 each was using this targeting with that ad. So what did I do? I excluded all the mortgage people and some real estate people and some paralegals for some godforsaken reason. What I matched with were behaviors likely to move, home ownership, and first-time home buyer. Those three. Okay. Didn't spend a whole lot of money. Spent $75, got 65 leads. Strongly recommend, you go about doing this if you can, because this is going to be, again, huge. Just try one of these, and if it doesn't work, go more specific. But the one problem that a lot of people make, and it's actually a problem of mine too, because this is like kind of my fault. People came to me and said, I have no idea how to target. I assumed they'd already done the basic ones, like likely to move, home ownership, first-time home buyer. And then I go into, okay, well, I'm assuming that didn't work. So now we have to go more complicated, target, newly married, target newly engaged, target new parents, divorcees, widowers, things like that. And that all works real well. That does work really well. One thing that's kind of funny, if you think about it with this, is that Los Angeles County, who know, LA well, it's really hard to get a reach of 9,000 people in any part of LA because it's huge. I mean, a square block is like twice this number. So we've really narrowed it down just with these three, and that's it. And launched it 26 to 60. The majority of my, even though we went up to 60, the majority of my leads that came in, I believe, were. The leads are measured by blue on this one. Not the reach is green. The blue is the actual response to it. So the majority of my leads came from between 25 and 44, as we've come to expect, right? So that all kind of makes sense. It stands to reason that this is the way to do it. Rick, since you're the only guy on the thing right now, you got any questions about this particular ad, how it was run?
Yeah, it looks like you basically narrowed down your audience to get to where you needed to be. And how much was it per lead?
$1.15 right down here.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not. It's not the best either. I know a guy who gets 50-cent leads. Greg Tanner gets really, really affordable leads with the system.
As far as follow-up, what are you using as far as like auto texting?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that will offer this, but I think the one thing that we can say unanimous is there needs to be automatic text message. So we had a bit of a debate about this in one of the groups about which one is most effective, and what the conclusion was with respect to follow-up with auto text is that it depends on how much time that you physically have to recategorize the lead once it's been contacted. Lion Desk, which is something that I personally like, but there's a limitation of it, is it is 25. The problem with Lion Desk is that when somebody responds to your automated text messages, your video text, something like that, you've got to physically go in and switch them onto a different campaign, right? It won't do it automatically. The system that I like about Agent Legend, which is substantially more, 10 times as expensive, just about, is that it does that automatically for you, right? So if you're swamped, if you're in a management, if you got LOs and you're a manager, and you know you can put one LO are an LOA, or if you're real estate like a TC or something like that, put that person on lead duty, then I would go save the money. But if you don't have that and you just don't want to worry about that, I would go with Agent Legend or something like Agent Legend. Active campaign or something like that is a good middle ground too. But again, you really want to have that unsubscribe feature built in. And I think, guys, people who listen to this, when you're looking for a CRM, that's what you need to ask about, because everything can do everything now. It's like more modern. Everything has text. Everything has this. And if it doesn't, it's behind. What you have to now, the defining factor in what works, what doesn't work for the automation. Can it work with Zapier? Right? Can it work with Zapier in like a million different ways? And if the answer is yes to that, what you have to say is, can we automatically send people from one list to another list? Even the most basic systems like Aweber allow you to do that. So if something doesn't do that, like LionDesk, that's something you have to think about. I know it's a really long answer to a short question, but the system that I use both. I use Agent Legend and I use LionDesk concurrently, because I think one does one really well, one does the other really well, and I don't want to mix it.
Well, the most optimal thing is to create a system to where it's automatic. Everything is automatically done up until, somebody actually wants to talk to you.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I keep signing you out. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree
So
more.
what is?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry.
What is okay? So you're saying, okay. So for example, we start off with, as far as funnel.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, brain fart. I've already done a million things today. What's the name of it? The thing that catches, the post. I know it was in Ryan's video that I watched last night.
What's that?
I said I know it was in that video that Ryan posted last night. It was like a 45-minute video. It's like the whiteboard one. I'd have to watch it again. Anyway, so I found the website I was looking for.
Okay.
And essentially, I know that getting when you post, having a video is a lot more effective than just having a static picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
sure.
let me share my screen.
Cool, man. Let me hop back over here. I'll stop presenting mine, and then we'll see yours. And I think anyone who's watching will also see yours too. So let me just.
Yeah. Okay. So if you go over here, it's called. I'll just freaking copy that into the chat.
Okay. Great. Slide.
And they essentially have hundreds of basic videos that you can add text to. They're about 15 seconds each. So it's better than just having the static picture.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So for example, we have the real estate collection. Okay. Mortgages, which is in real estate. Nobody wants to hear about a mortgage, but everyone wants to know about a house. Right. So here's all the possible videos for that. So let's preview this one, for example. 12-second video. You can add text, chat, or you can add text and everything like that. So this is for people that don't like recording their own videos.
That is freaking awesome, man. In fact, because we don't have a whole lot of viewers right now, would you go ahead and copy that into the what the hell am I trying to say? Into the status that we're communicating into, so people have that as a resource in case they didn't catch that video.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Let me go back.
That's the one right there.
All right, let me put that there.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's real cool.
There we go.
That's
we got this one. And if you don't want to go exactly with real estate, you can go with, let's see, there was one for like home loan right here. Preview this one. Play video. I guess this one would be, one for mortgages directly, but like I said, nobody wants to hear about a mortgage. They want to hear about a house.
Yeah, maybe this one's not going to be as effective as the home ones, but it's still a nice video. Yeah, for sure. I think the home ones you're going to have a whole lot of success with, though, especially the exterior shots. It's been shown the exterior shots on the ads work real well. So if you do it the, I think you do,
This one actually has some kind of cheesy music to it.
Okay. Yeah, there's some parts of the country that would do really well in, I think.
Yeah.
West Coast, like, yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Hey, man, that's cool. So, to our one viewer, promo, widely. That's
yeah.
Right now.
Promo. That's the name of the website. And I kept seeing the ad on Facebook. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I eventually clicked on it, and that's what it was. So I'm like, this is freaking awesome.
That's so freaking cool, man. That's really awesome. Go ahead and close this down here. So
let me give you a screen back.
Awesome. Appreciate it. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's mainly it. You know, that aside from, you know, Rick's suggestion there, which is badass, try it out. You know, just split test. And here's the one thing I'm going to leave you guys with before I tap off here. I know it's a little bit earlier than usual, but you know, again, we've got a lot coming up Thursday and the following days. Where on Thursday, what I want to do, just announce this ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and build an ad. I'm going to build an ad identical to the one I built that got me $1.15 leads. And I'm going to only do that on Thursday. Okay. So it's like, you know, we'll do questions after that and stuff like that. But I'm only going to do that because what I want to do is I want to have one quick guide through to let people know that, hey, it is literally this easy to get this thing done. I did one already before, but now that I have the ad copy here in front of me that I want to use, I decided I want to do that again and show you guys how to do that. I'm not, you know, obviously I can't guarantee you guys are going to get like, you know, leads for $1.15 like that funnel did that I showed you. But you know, it should help. You know, even if for me it's like, even if I was paying like $4 a lead, if I got 65 leads in like 3 or 4 days, I'd be pretty happy. I wouldn't be happy with the fact that I spent $250, but you know, it's like that's kind of cool. So with the buyer ads, the one thing I'll kind of say, and I got this idea from Adam Stark, who's, you know, sold is how I roll. If you guys don't know Adam Stark, he's a big member of this group and in the live events. And he, you know, he taught all of us, but you know, me, I was there. He taught us that, you know, don't block out too many people. Don't narrow it down too much on the buyer side, because at the end of the day, you know, there's a whole lot more you can do with a potential buyer who wants to buy a house in your pipeline for, you know, months down the road, and get them to convert. That you feel like that's like someone that's like, oh, well, this person never responded back to me, but he is opening all my emails. Like, it's almost, unless you screw this up and unless you're not following up on the phone and texting and just being like a communicative guy or gal, you know, that person's going to work with you. I mean, you're their information source of real estate. And that's why it's like so important to have, you know, and just to tie it back to what I was really talking about, your call to action, right? It's so important that you guys have something that follows up and delivers on that call to action. Usually for me, if we're talking about insider info, put them on a weekly drip of like, you know, for me, it's Todd Holland's brain in real estate. For, you know, be Rick Taylor's brain in mortgages, whatever it is, the stuff that you know that they care about, put it down there and then set them up on that drip. That's work you have to do one time. And this is why I love stuff like this. You have to do this one time, set up the drip campaign. And for every lead that you get from this point forward until the end of eternity, you've already written the emails. It's free work. You've already paid your time for it. So that's what I'll say. What I'll say there. You know, make it look good too. You know, text is important as anything, but also make it look good visually with the images. The videos, I think, are badass for the ads. For your actual follow up, if you use Lion Desk like I do, use the video text feature. Video is so huge, and it will bring it's like endearing as shit too, because people don't know you. They know a picture of you going like this or whatever your image is, and they know, like, you know, your blog, and they know you know how to run an ad. But until you see someone talk, you don't really know if you'd like to talk to that person or not. So in a way, not only does that like bring more people to want to talk to you, it'll help narrow down problems you're gonna have in the future. Because, you know, for example, if someone's like, you know, faces cause a lot of emotions with the visual text, right?
We gave it to him yesterday. Sorry.
Oh, no worries, man. So, I mean, the last point I was trying to make was that, you know, people are very visual. If they see something they don't like, that can trigger a lot of emotions. Like, you could look like someone's ex-boyfriend, or someone could look like someone's ex-wife, or something like that, and that could really put people off in some way. So, the best way to field that out is just to put yourself out there talking to yourself like you would normally talk to them. And if they're like, wow, you know, this guy gets it, and he talks like we talk, it's your perfect client. If it's someone like, wow, that person's incredibly rude, and, you know, I don't like his nose, he's wearing like a sweater on business hours, something like that, I'm cool with that. Like, that's not someone I would want to work with anyways. But that video helps you narrow that down, as well as like more expansion, more viewership and things like that. So that's it. That's kind of all I got with that. Unless Rick or anyone on. Let me check YouTube real quick. See if anyone typed any questions on YouTube. Oh, I keep losing your feed, Todd. Okay, I guess that's a common problem here for people on YouTube. So, okay, not much I can do about that now. I'll have to reach out to him afterwards. But yeah, unless there's any questions on what I went over, best practices moving forward, if you guys want homework or something to do to get yourself more prepared to start selling stuff better next week, let me know, and we can do all that. So, yeah. All right, thank you guys for coming on board and for watching. I hope this was as helpful for you guys as it was to me. Take care.